And there's all sorts. There's a Saint Germain mojito. There's so many different cocktails. And I went to the Toronto Temperance Society and tried a couple things because that's where the big unveiling was. So I had a chance to try a few things, and it's really neat. Now, I don't know if the cameras will be able to pick this up.
I love the color on that.
What are you mixing here? What are you mixing here?
This is sparkling wine from Australia. Now, this is slightly pink. It's traditional Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Pinot Meunier grapes. Now, if the elderflower liqueur, it's very heavy and viscous, and you can see it sits kind of that haze, that cloud.
They might not be able to see it on the camera, but you can certainly see it here. Like you're talking about, it's a little thicker at the bottom,
so
if
you need
you
to
will.
give it a bit of a stir, but this is your classic Saint Germain cocktail. You're welcome. Always a good way to start off on Monday.
It's easily the most masculine drink I've had.
But what's wonderful about this, it's the traditional holiday bubbly look that you want, but something completely different. That's
I mean, this would make a great gift just on its own. I mean, the amount of Saint Germain that was made available is pretty limited, and it flew off the shelves because bars were grabbing it and stockpiling it.
That is fabulous. I love that.
It's difficult to look like a tough guy when you're drinking this.
That's all attitude.
Hey, Nunzio.
Now, we've got the bubbly to start off with the Saint Germain, and then you work into the traditional, like you've got a cheese plate sitting here, and this is sort of my holiday treat, to sit down in the evening, a lovely little port, a little bit of cheese, and all is right with the world.
And your Charles Dickens there.
Yeah.
You're good, you're set.
So I brought a few different bottles of Graham's port. There is, when you're looking at port, you're not looking at producers necessarily, it's shipping houses.
Oh, really?
Back when there was you weren't allowed to bring French wines to England, so the British set off trying to find other resources. They ended up in Portugal and found port wine. So they would get these wines made, but they would get shipped out under the name of the people that owned the shipping companies. So hence we have Graham's, not exactly a Portuguese name, right? So we have late bottle vintage, a 10-year-old tawny, and a 20-year-old tawny. A trick question for you. How old do you think a 10-year-old tawny port is?
That is a trick question.
Well, you would say 10, but I don't know.
Susan, just tell them, you know.
Okay, you would guess 10. But
right. Now, it's kind of the opposite of a single malt scotch. When you get a 15-year-old single malt, the youngest, it's blended, the youngest scotch in there is 15 years old. Some of it could be older. Port's the other way around. The oldest port in there could be 20 years old, but it's a blend. It's essentially the winemaker's interpretation of what a 10-year-old port should be like, or a 20-year-old port. Okay. So when you think, oh, that's a 20-year-old bottle of port, well, not
Bits
really.
of it
give or
maybe,
take,
yes.
maybe on average, maybe, approximately.
So that's a 20-year-old. Now, it's just, obviously the color straight away is going to, and now port is made, it's a very quick process. They take the grapes and vigorously macerate over 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. And as it's fermenting, they will fortify it with brandy, and that kills the fermentation, so it stops producing the sugar.
Right.
So you retain the sweetness, and it cuts off, it won't continue turning into alcohol. Now
should it be warmed a little bit? I keep wanting to go like this with my hand to warm it a little bit for a port.
I don't know much about port. Like, is there a traditional way of imbibing port?
Not really. It's really taste. It's the same as anything. Some people like their port chilled. Room temperature is traditional, but it's the same as.
But we don't use a straw.
No.
And we like it with our friends, and especially this time of year. So cheers to you, Jake. Thank you for all the education. We're going to be back with more Daytime in just a moment.
Yeah, thanks for the education and the rest of it.
Welcome back to Daytime. It is the holiday season, and I can guarantee you kids out there can't wait to get outside and enjoy it all.
You're probably right.
Well, I imagine you were a big kid out there in the snow.
No, I was a very indoorsy sort of. I can see my fellow children playing outside. I'm
you
good
would
in
have
here.
been making the biggest snow angels out there ever.
No, I was happy with my hot chocolate in the window, watching the world go by.
Well, you're an exception because most kids want to be out there enjoying it all, but you need to make sure that they're bundled up properly, they're staying warm, they've got things to do. We've got our parenting expert, Maureen joining us to help us with some tips with our kids for the wintertime. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, you know what? The kids can't wait to get out there and experience winter. It's we adults that sit inside and just want to, you know, forget about it all or cozy up around the fire. The kids want to be out there.
They do. But it can kind of get to be one of those things where, oh yeah, I'm done. I was out. Or, you know, and the kids, or it is cold. Or you have the indoor kid who would like to stay in and play video games. And, you know, and one of the things that we suggest to really get them excited is, you know, let them come with you and go shopping and pick out, you know, whether it's a new hat or new mitts, so that they're excited about it, so they do want to go outside, and whether you're going to watch birds or count birds or make snowmen or whatever you're going out to do, but they're getting excited about it.
Try out your new jacket. Try out your new gloves.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, I grew up in Calgary, and we had to wait till it got to -10 to wear our new ski jackets. And then you wore them till April and May. But yeah, no, it's...
Well, and it's funny, and this year especially, they've got all those great hats out there
that
are
the
designer.
Like exactly. These are all from Gap
I want to wear
Kids
hats like that.
Yeah, so you know, these are fun, and they're excited to put them on, and they look crazy.
That actually goes with what you're wearing right now.
Yeah, really. But one of the things is like when you look at these, you know, this is a gorgeous little girl's coat, isn't it?
Every
Adorable.
little girl should have a double-breasted jacket like this, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
But as a mom, you might look at that and go, "Oh my God, it's white."
That's
you
exactly
know,
what I would
and
do.
I don't know about you, but I end up washing my kids' winter stuff like once a week. I don't know what they're doing out there, but they don't care how much snow there is. If there's the lightest dusting, it's snow. Yeah. So they're out there rolling in the grass mostly, mud, slush, and they come home and you're washing that stuff over and over again. And one of the things I hadn't taken into consideration is all that washing can be really hard on all the stuff you've got. And if your kids' winter things start to get itchy and scratchy, you may start to have that resistance to wanting to be able to get dressed up and go out.
Once you're out, if you're uncomfortable at all outside,
forget it. You're like, this is not fun. I'm cold, or I'm taking my hat off because it's scratching my head.
Exactly.
And, you know, as soon as they're irritated, nobody's having a good time. So I am a new convert to using fabric softener, which I
never did before?
I never did. I'm not a big person who likes perfumes and dyes, and so I really limited the amount of things I was using. What I didn't realize was what I was doing to all my kids' stuff and to my own stuff, and that making it softer makes it more comfortable for them. And then being able to wash all that stuff all the time keeps the fabrics looking great, so I don't mind spending the money on really nice things.
And that's a huge thing, because with the kids, they're growing constantly, and you have that turnover in coats constantly, and you want to make sure.
I've got 2 girls, and this is for my 5-year-old. I want the 1-year-old to be wearing it in 2 years. Right?
Exactly. And it's funny when you talk about the fabric softeners, because we do have this kind of perception that what they do is make everything smell pretty.
Yes.
But there is a function for them. They actually do just that. They soften the clothes.
And you think when you're putting these kids, they're wearing a lot of layers of clothing. You know, whether you've got the long johns on, and then you got the tracksuit on, and then you got the snowsuit on, and the mitts and the hat.
When I was a kid, it was a 15-minute recess. The first 5 minutes is putting your gear on. You're outside for 5, then you're back in, and you're taking
peeling it all off.
It's ridiculous.
Now you always have to remember to make sure they go to the bathroom before you start that layering process, because there's nothing worse than having a toddler go, "Mommy, I have to pee."
You only make that mistake once as a parent, and then you go, "You kidding me? Really?"
Everybody pee before we do this. Yeah, before we start the process.
There's your $1 million, build a better mousetrap. There's your $1 million idea.
All Velcro, all the way down.
Yeah.
Is there a specific layering process that's better for the kids to keep them warm when they're out there? Like, I think most of us think just more is better. Get 10 layers on them and they're good to go for the afternoon.
Well,
but that's
kids
not
are really
necessarily
active when they're outside. Like, you know, a lot of parents think, okay, I got to put lots and lots of layers on, but you got to remember they're going to be active out there. And we've got some great, you know, non-traditional snowman ideas, and they're out rolling snow and decorating and throwing snowballs at each other. They're running around, so they're going to, you know, you want to make sure you've got layers that you can peel off and put on. And so, you know, if you're going to be out for an extended length of time, maybe go for the long johns and all of that. But if you're just going to go out for a quick play, keep that in mind that they get hot and then they start peeling stuff off.
They're sweating underneath. That's just getting cold. So you're not doing them any favors.
Yeah,
Right.
keep them. They may not be at the same temperature you are, standing watching, or you know, maybe you're in there rolling the snowballs too.
Exactly. Speaking of the non-traditional snow people that are out there, you kind of brought a non-traditional snow person along.
Yeah,
too.
we brought our little Rapunzel Tangled themed snow person today because it's getting kids, you know, they think, okay, yeah, I'm going to make a snowman, and maybe making them smaller. Like make one this size where they can actually roll the snowball and build the snowman versus, you know, trying to get the neighborhood to lift that ball up on top and going, oh, we might have to wait till Dad gets home to put that one up.
And if you can make it out of the snow that's just on your porch, then you get your kids working for you.
Well, that's just it, you know, when you don't, or you don't, you know, sometimes we get a little bit of snow and they don't, like I said, they don't care. It's snow, so we're going to make something. And so we've got a couple of other little kits here too, taking maybe some of your, you know, your leftover Halloween stuff. I have like I said, I had a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old.
making kit.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
you know, keep them together, and we have a ton of tiaras because I have a 5-year-old princess. So she is more than happy to go out, and she's more of an indoor kid. She would rather stay in and play princess and Barbies. But she got very excited when we talked about, oh, let's go make a princess snowman. She's like, yeah, right on. And then my 7-year-old son is far more into the pirates. So, you know, taking his pirate hat, putting the hook on the snowman, good old eye patch, you know, having a little bit more fun with it.
Right.
And then I have a 1-year-old who really is probably just going to eat the snow. But we've tried to teach her about the yellow
Look
snow.
at
Oh yes,
this.
definitely. That's the first one.
You gotta watch the yellow snow. Yeah, is to take your little Mr. Potato Head parts
snowman.
and just let them play with it that way, right?
What a great idea. So the kids will have
So we've got tons of activities and places to go on wewelcome.ca, so you can get out there and enjoy the winter, have a baby in a life,
And We Welcome is great because it tells you all those family-friendly places that you can go and things that you can do. It's a great resource to go and take a look at. Thanks for joining us, Maureen.
Thank you.
I want to go out and build a snowman now.
You got birds together. These birds are not going to cut themselves, Susan.
Back in a moment. Stay with us.